Hello everyone, and in this video we're about to discuss how to ace the exam called IELTS. So if you having your exam soon, you have to watch it till the end since you will get a lot of insights, and I'm 100% sure about that. So what is even IELTS? IELTS is International English Language Testing System, the world's most popular English proficiency test for higher education, work, and immigration. It assesses 4 sections: listening, reading, writing, and speaking skills for non-native speakers, accepted by 12,500 organizations across 160 countries, including governments and universities. And also, here are some key details about IELTS. So if I would talk about its purpose and usage, so there are there are actually 3 types of IELTS. The first one is IELTS Academic. It is used for university admissions professional registration. But the second version, it's called IELTS General Training. You have to pass it if you want to immigrate to English-speaking countries like Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the UK, and South Africa, and yada yada. So, and the last type of it is IELTS for UK visas and immigration. So, also, here are some components. IELTS consists of 4 skills: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. And I've already told that earlier. So, and also is jointly owned by IELTS IDP, the British Council, and Cambridge University Press and Assessment. Okay, how to ace IELTS? You have the same question. So from now on, I'll be answering to this exact question. So you have to be very strategic and don't rely on luck that much. I know that luck is some kind of a thing that may contribute to your score, but it doesn't matter whether you prepare for that for a long time. If you just like will, I don't know, some kind of like a chicken out at the exam day, on the exam day, I mean. So you have to be very strategic and confident in your actions. Okay, so the most widespread trick in IELTS listening. So the first one is the correction trap. Examiners love to make the speakers say something and then immediately correct themselves. If you hear, "We will meet at 5. Oh wait, I forgot the gym is closed. Then let's say 6:30. So the answer will be 6:30. It's not 5 because the person has already said something. And the last answer will be the correct one. And the map strategy. In map tasks, the speaker will use directional language such as adjacent to, opposite, clockwise. So in map, you have to know how to see that map, like visualize that kind of map. And also there will be some map, some kind of like a compass that where you will have north, south, east, and west directions. And also the last one is the plurality death trap. Many students lose their 0.5 bands just by missing an S. Also, there's like a really cool structure by which you can define whether it needs an S or not. So take a look at the sentence. One of the. So the answer must be plural. Basically, grammar tells you the answer even if you didn't hear the S clearly. So if the speaker said roses, you cannot say rose because it's just singular one, and roses will be correct since it is what? Plural form. Okay, let's proceed to the reading. The first rule that I want you to know is the 100% rule for true false not given. So basically you can decide it by percents actually. True, if it's true, it's gonna be true for 100%. However, if it is false, it's gonna be 50% because there might be some alteration, like changes of some statements. So if I would say that I've been living in the United States of America for over than 2 years, it's gonna be a lie. So that's why it is false. And also in terms of not given, so basic not given means tells for itself actually. So not given means that there is nothing to find, there's nothing to compare with. So basically there's nothing. So you cannot just like, I don't know, identify one information in order to either justify or prove, or I don't know, doing whatever you want with the statement is impossible here, since you were not provided with I know, just like one piece of information, so you could like rely, I don't know, find an answer and etc. Okay, so the second thing is the headings hack. Don't read the whole paragraph or much headings actually. Read the first sentence, which is like basically called as topic sentence, and the last sentence it's called as summary sentence. Basically 80% of the time the answer is there, so that's why you have to read. And also, however, but I guess it would be individual way of finding what is convenient for you. If it is convenient for you to find an answer just by reading the first and the last sentence, do it. But if you have to really comprehend the whole sentence in order to digest what the heck is going on in this sentence, in this text, I mean, you have to read and then go to headings. You can do both ways. Oh, by the way, so here's like a really cool tip in terms of reading, especially the headings type of questions. So you have to like experiment with that, with every kind of strategy, and you have to decide by yourself what suits you the best, and then you will use that. So stop vocabulary obsession also. If you see a word like paleontology and don't know, just like simply ignore it. So there's like one fact, it's a noun. Treat it like X. So here is an example. The X discovered the bone. We don't need to know what X is to answer the question. So yeah, no problem. So let's go to the writing. The task response trap. So if the prompt asks, discuss both views and give your opinion, and you don't give your opinion, the maximum score you can get is a band 5 for task response, like period. Yeah. And cohesion. I hope you know that, the word cohesion. So basically my tip here is use linking words a lot. Examiners basically love that. For example, nevertheless, consequently, conversely, as a result, etc. Also, the secret, avoid absolute words like always, never, everyone. So instead of saying that kind of absolute words, you have to say it is often argued, tend to, in many cases, it is highly probable. This makes you sound like an objective researcher, not a random person shouting opinions. So here's like the difference actually between them. Okay, the most widespread trick in what? IELTS speaking section. The first thing is here, the fillers hack. Don't say, basically it kills your fluency score. Use strategic thinking phrases. So here are some better alternatives. That's an intriguing question. Let me think. I haven't given it much thought before, but I suppose something is that, yada yada yada. Actually, it's funny. You should ask that. And some kind of like things. And also, here is my insight that I got from my own speaking section. So, idioms that actually work. Like, don't use raining cats and dogs. It's cliche and dated. Instead of saying raining cats and dogs, you have to say once in a blue moon. So it basically means frequency. Over the moon, it means that you're delighted and you're happy. A piece of cake is like basically a thing that you can do effortlessly. So part 3, the telescope method. In part 3, don't talk about yourself. Talk about society. You have to use words like generally speaking, on a global scale, most people in my country, and yada yada yada. Yeah, so that is pretty much of it.